Welcome back to For the Mamas Collective Podcast, a space where we believe in the power of connection and shared experiences.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Jaleesa. We're so glad you're here with us for our 17th episode.
This podcast has been such a gift because as moms, we know how powerful it is to have a space where you feel seen, heard, and held.
And today's episode is a special one. It's our Mother's Day edition, a love letter to the many forms, flavors, and truth of motherhood.
Whether you're celebrating, grieving, healing, or somewhere in between, we want you to feel honored today. This one's for all the mamas.
Right. So we'll be reflecting on our own relationships with our mothers, what we've learned, what we carry, and what we're letting go.
First, as always, let's begin with our Rose and Thorn check in.
Okay, Danielle, what's your rose and thorn this week?
Okay. So, my Rose, major highlight, but last week was just like a really stressful work week.
Mm,
And it was like 4 o'clock on Friday. I just went and I checked in. I was like, Trey, how you feeling? And he was like,
mm.
good. And I was like, good, like what? He was like, what, Danielle, what are you talking about? And I was like, good, like taking a spontaneous getaway. And he was like, to where? And so, long story short, from like 4 to 5, I didn't plan anything. Let me not say that. I booked a hotel.
Yeah.
I like Googled things to do for families within 2 hours from Atlanta, and
Mm,
we drove down to LaGrange, which we've been to before because they have like a big water park down there. But
mm,
we didn't go for that. I also, in my spontaneity, did not check the weather, so we drove into a storm. It was
mm.
not the 85 and sunny we had here in Atlanta all week long.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, we really just all of us just threw some stuff in the bag. We took the dogs. And we went on a weekend adventure. We did like a wild animal safari and got to like
Mm.
feed the kids fed a baby giraffe and
Wow.
like petting like cows and water buffalo and bison, and there was just like so many animals. Saw bears and tigers and lions, and then we did a lot of hiking, which was fun,
Mm.
with the
Mhm.
dogs especially. But it was like
Yeah.
everything we did, like there was kennels for the dogs to go into, or it was dog friendly. There was something for all the ages to do. I already loved the butterfly garden, but it was just so nice to
Mm.
disconnect, get out the house, be with nature. And so that was definitely my
Yeah.
rose, just being spontaneous. I've never done anything like
Uh-huh.
that. So it's a bit out of my comfort zone. But I just kept telling them, and we kept saying it the whole time. They're like, well, what about this? And I was like, it doesn't matter. We can do what
Yeah.
we want to do this weekend. If our shoes get dirty, we can take them home and wash them, or we can throw them away. It doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
like, that was like our whole vibe the whole weekend. And so we really did just have fun. Like, we didn't care what happened. It
Yeah.
was raining some, and then the sun came out, but like the overall, we didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was nice. That was the rose. The thorn. Whew, this is deep. So I'm gonna
Okay.
try not to get that deep, but
Okay.
I had the realization, how like you feel like seasons are ending.
Mm.
Sometimes like a chapter is ending, the book is in and it's closing, like whatever happens. I was
Mhm.
like that close. Like I felt the transition. Um, if that's impactful enough to say. Again, I don't know if other
Mm.
people deal with it in this way, but it was just
Mhm.
like I saw it happening in front of me in real time, and I was like, "Oh, this is what it looks like." Like there was a huge shift
Mm.
last week, and I witnessed it. And I wasn't ready, and it was very emotional, and
Mm.
I'm still kind of processing the feelings when it
Oh, okay.
comes to that. Again, and I know this is brief, but it was just that was heavy, and so that was my thorn because um, the week was already enough. So I didn't
Mm.
the extra weight. But yeah, looking forward to what's coming. Just knowing that that kind of caught me off guard and was a bit uncomfortable. Um,
Mm. Okay.
you know,
All right. Well, that's a
yeah,
good one.
yeah.
That's good. Some stuff to
Which gave
reflect
me, I
on.
shall say, and we'll talk about it as we get into today's topic.
Yeah.
But it shifted my mindset in a way that I
Mm.
think is positive. So there
Okay.
was a rose in it, but it was just the thorn that stuck me because I was like, "Ooh, out of the blue, left field, huh? Like, why are you here for me? Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't looking for you. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't ready. But it did. It shifted my mindset, and I think right in time for Mother's Day. So
Yeah.
that was a positive.
Nice.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to getting into that. I guess for me, what was my rose? I don't know. The energy's just been good in the house. So that's a rose. Sydney is going to do a sleepaway camp Thursday with school. So that's a rose and a thorn. It's like, yes,
Wow. Her
yes,
first
I'm
time?
yes. Yes, I'm letting her do it. Yes,
Mm.
I'm not having a whole lot of anxiety around it. And then the thorn of that is she's gonna be at a sleepaway camp. But trust and believe she is air tagged. So I'm like, okay, I get it, I got it. And she's excited about it, and so that's cool. I'm ready to let her do all the things that freely that she needs to
Yeah.
do and just have her childhood. So and that was another thing too. We had another moment where we all forgot she didn't have band the other morning, and so she was at the school really early, and I just felt so bad because dad dropped off, but then I woke up to a phone call and I'm like, what is going on? So that was the thorn, was like, just that was a very anxious moment for me. But then when I went and checked on her, I went back up to the school, and I that was the rose that I had a very healing moment. The little girl in me got healed. Like, yeah, I did want someone to come and check on me and make sure that I was good. When stuff like that happens,
Yeah.
and it's a normal parent thing, so I'm not pressing my parents about that, but it was just like something I couldn't say, I could do for my kids. She didn't have to say that. I knew to
Mm.
give that to her because it was something I wanted. So in turn, it gave it back to me. So that was just a beautiful kind of thing. I told Rob, I was like, I healed something in myself when I went and did that. He was like, all right.
Girl, yes, I
Yeah.
love that for you because I was saying that all weekend. Like everything we did, I was like, Trey, this
Mhm.
was the little girl in me. Like this
Mhm.
is what she wished we could have done as kids. Like just
Yeah.
pack up and go, just figure it out on the way, or even just be free enough to be like, nothing matters. Who cares if
Right.
it's raining?
Yeah.
Like throw the jacket away. Like, I mean, we're not gonna go that far, but like seriously, it was
Yeah.
just such a healing moment for me to be like, I didn't have this, but I can create it. And to
Yes.
watch the kids like flourish in it. Like I know Sydney, if
Mhm.
she didn't say it to you, which she may have,
Mm.
but like I know that she felt that. Like she's always going to remember that. That is
Mhm.
amazing.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes, I definitely cried in the car after I checked on her, but it was like good happy tears. I was like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that leads us right up to it, right?
Mhm.
Because, that right there is the complexity of motherhood.
Mhm. Mhm.
The love and the longing and, all the things like the joy, the overwhelm, but all the things that like we don't really know. We're missing
Yes.
or we need or we want, desire, and
Yeah.
especially to that little girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good
Mhm.
lead in, right? It's funny that we're talking about Mother's Day, but we're starting with ourselves, and
Yeah.
and so that the little girl in us is the mother we are today, right? She's with us. So let's
Mhm.
dive in a little bit here, and so you all know this week's episode is our love letter to mothers, right? The seen and the unseen and the celebrated and the forgotten, the tired, the grieving, the hopeful. There's something for you all in this episode.
Yes, and most importantly, we wanted to hold space for all of that
Mhm.
because Mother's Day can feel like so many things at once, as we
Mhm.
stated, but just like beautiful, complicated, joyful, um, bittersweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna come out the gate hot. So we have some questions that we've been sitting with. So we want to offer that to you all in this space as well. So let's get into the questions here. So what do you wish someone would say to you on Mother's Day? Not that generic stuff, but like the real soul affirming words. What did you need to hear?
Yeah, I think my answer will probably sound like what a lot of mothers may feel,
Mhm.
but just the honesty, right? Like, I don't
Mm.
want generic, like, world's best mom. You know, we're
Yeah.
so lucky to have you. Like that. Okay, good. I know.
Mhm.
I'm lucky to have y'all too. You know, but it's like
Yeah.
I know all of that, and I know y'all know because I don't think Mother's Day is special, especially in our
Yeah.
household. Um, but when you're celebrated every day, or when you're, or on the other end of that spectrum, when you're never
Yeah.
celebrated,
Yeah.
it can mean different things. And I think from my perspective, I would just want that full-fledged acknowledgement. Um,
Mhm.
just I want you to see that, like, I'm moving forward and I'm going, but that I
Mhm.
might not be okay, right? Or that,
Yes.
like I would appreciate. And I know that maybe that doesn't sound glorious, right? Like,
Mm.
oh, like I see even on your worst days, like how you show up for the family. That doesn't sound
Yeah.
good, but it feels good to
Yeah.
me. Especially because I mean it's hard, and
Mhm.
you know that. Like your
Mhm.
age gap isn't quite there, but you still have it. Like Sid and
Yeah.
Robert, excuse me, are doing two
Yeah.
very different things.
Yeah.
As are Chase and Ari, and MJ and Chase, and
Yeah.
MJ and Ari.
Right.
And so it's just like I want people to see that, like in the
Right.
midst of it all and all the chaos, like I see how you show up. Like I see how you go, excuse me, above and beyond, because what we make
Mhm.
look easy, oh, it's not. It's not at
Mm.
all. And even kind of going back to what I said earlier, but like the term bittersweet, like it rolled off my tongue so nicely there. And I think it's because
Mhm.
I was using it all weekend. Like that was the
Oh.
feeling I had. I'm like, this is such a bittersweet moment. Um,
Mm.
because everything was like, okay, I guess I'll jump into it just a little bit. I don't want to get into it too much.
Yeah.
But everything I did on the trip felt like a milestone. It felt important.
Mm.
It felt
Mm.
like when you watch the movies and they have those flashbulb, memories, and they go back and they're like, I remember the vacation when we took the kids here and we did this and we did that.
Yeah.
Everything felt that way. Buckling
Yeah.
Ari into the car seat, eating meals, everything. And so I
Yeah.
was doing it because I was like, oh my gosh, like why am I feeling all of this so intensely? And
Mhm.
then when I felt the chapter close, I was like, oh, that's why. Because like this was really just like, the rainbow. And maybe
Mm.
that's backwards, right? Because the rainbows come after the storm, but this was like the rainbow like before the storm.
Yeah.
So maybe before the next storm. I don't know what we're gonna call that, but it was
Yeah.
just so beautiful and glorious. And such as a mother, just looking in, I
Yeah.
just kept telling Travis like, this is so bittersweet. Like they're having such a great time. We're not watching TV. We're not on devices. We're talking and connecting with each other. We've got our shoes off in nature. We're walking through
Mhm.
streams, and like the dogs are with us, and they're having a field day. It was just so bittersweet. And
Mm.
I want somebody to say, like, I see you. I see what you're
Mhm.
doing to make this happen. And even
Yeah.
say that, like, I see how much it means to you. I think that would mean a lot
Mm.
too, because like being a mother means the world to me. Like I take my job very seriously.
Yeah.
Very seriously. And it's not because I have to, it's because I want to.
Mm.
Um, so, that's me. But how about
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a deep imprint. Oftentimes what gets imprinted on us are the hardships. So to
Yeah.
experience the imprint of such a beautiful moment is something to be present in. And so that's a good experience. It's a wonderful experience. So
Yeah.
that is right. And as a mother, putting aside the stress of the week to be able to say, let's just do it, put everything down and let's go. I see that. That's good. That's good. Not getting caught up.
Yeah.
So I think that's the same thing for me too, is just to be seen in all that is done, all the
Hmm.
care that gets taken, all the thought that gets put into everything. I always say, like, I think
Yes.
I'm thinking for four people. And so I need that to be seen and acknowledged. And for me, it's maybe more action, so it's not as much as what you could say to me,
Hmm.
but it's what can be done for me.
Mm.
So Rob, I was kind of like, everything stressed me out. This is a lot, this is heavy, whatever. And he's like, okay, I think I might want to do a hotel room for myself this weekend. He's like, okay. I was like, ooh, but the 2 days is a lot, but I think I need 2 nights of good sleep. He's like, okay. And then the other day, he just handed me his card, and I was like, ooh, bless you, child. Cause I was really like, "Where is money coming from?" Because I'm like, I mean, if I could use that for something else." And he's like, "But this is what you want to do, so do it." And
Mhm.
this is just like an advancement of what we already do. He saw me a long time ago when he was like, you don't have to go to anything for Mother's Day. He started
Mhm.
just taking the kids on the Sundays. I don't do anything. I don't go
Right.
anywhere. I don't see anybody. I don't have to do anything. So I've been actively seen in that way. So this is just an extension where I'm like, because I'm getting to the point where I want to be out of the house. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be looking at all of this stuff that ain't gonna get done and all the cleaning that ain't gonna get done. And so that to me what I appreciate the most for just, I mean, I like the words, but for me it's in action. The greatest thing that I will receive is the gift of someone saying, I know you need space. I
Mhm.
know Jaleesa is an introvert and is overstimulated and needs quiet, fresh air, time to be yourself. So I've just been settling into that like I'm gonna have a couple days to myself and figure out what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an adventure with just me and my little self. Yeah.
And you know what? I love that you said that because when we did our Rose and Thorn, and I was like, okay, let me
Uh-huh.
not get ahead of myself. That
Yeah.
was the mind shift I had. I've always
Mm.
felt, and this goes, I don't know, maybe back to childhood, right? Like
Mm.
I feel like Mother's Day, I always spent it with my mom.
Yeah.
But my dad was in and out of the house, right? So where was
Mm.
he gonna take us? And
Yeah.
we always tried to make sure we saw her mom, while she was living. So that's just kind of what it was. And
Yeah.
then when the boy's dad and I got divorced, the custody schedule, that's how it was set up.
Oh.
We had to do a holiday schedule, and so I had Mother's Day and he had Father's Day.
Mm.
And I realized over the weekend, I'm telling you,
Uh-huh.
powerful weekend,
Yeah.
changing.
Yeah.
But I had that revelation and I was like, oh my gosh, this is why some mothers say they want to be alone. Like, I've never felt that way, but I
Mhm.
think it was only because I didn't give myself space to feel that way. I felt like
Mm.
I was supposed to be with my kids on Mother's Day. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to spend it with them. I'm supposed to let them, shower me with their school gifts and
Mhm.
and things like that because I've never, if I'm being honest, I've never been in a position where I dad was like going above and
Yeah.
beyond to make sure I was celebrated on Mother's Day. Like, yeah, a
Yeah.
card, some flowers. Okay, got it. But like it was never anything crazy. And
Mm.
so when I had that moment, I was like, no, I think for Mother's Day, I want to disconnect from the house. I
Yeah.
don't want to be here. I want to go get
Yeah.
massaged by myself and have a manicure and a pedicure, maybe get my hair done. Like whatever it is, like I want to take care of just me on Mother's Day
Mhm.
instead of
Mhm.
being there for the entire family still.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and so yeah, I'm glad that you said that because I'm telling you, I just took, and it's not, I don't know if it was guilt that was attached to it, but I just, again, don't think I was holding space for myself to feel like Mother's Day could be about me and only me, not about the kids loving on me.
Right.
It's no, it's there's room for all of that. But on today,
Yeah. You're right. What's happening
listen,
today?
this here
Yeah.
Sunday coming up.
Right.
Why don't y'all go ahead and leave?
Right.
Go find you
Find
something to
something else
do.
to do. Yeah.
Right. Why don't y'all get out the house?
Yeah,
But
but that's so important, and I think that tradition is changing where it has
yeah.
been about, and it's been about showering our mothers or our
Mhm.
grandmothers. And while I appreciate that tradition, it's like you'll get another day, because me
Yeah.
as a mother, it's about me. You did your
Mhm.
work. I'm undoing some of your work. So it's about me. I think I'm doing the most work at this stage
Right.
of life. As we talk about stages and seasons, I am in the
Mhm.
season of, I feel like I am taking care of everyone and considering everyone every day.
Yeah.
So So you don't necessarily get a holiday that I want. I don't care if it's Mother's Day, Christmas, New Year's Day, Groundhog's Day. If I decide I want it for me,
Mhm.
oh yeah, I'ma take it. I
Yeah.
love you all, but I have to take it. And your trip really makes me think about again the little girl in us,
Mhm.
the girl that was becoming a mother. We have to turn around and parent her too. That's what I mean
Mhm.
by like I'm unlearning some things
Yeah.
that's been given to me from my maternal line. What we're doing is offering space to do what we needed that our mothers didn't
Mhm.
know, right? And there's
Right.
again nothing against them, but you wouldn't know what's inside of me. But now I know what's inside of me now, and I know
Mhm.
what was inside of me then. So
Yeah.
my job on Mother's Day is to shower myself so that inner child gets an understanding. I am the mother you wanted. I am the mother
Mhm.
my children need, and I'm becoming this woman that can hold all these spaces. And
Right.
and that means I have to take space.
Mhm. Yep. And you know what? I don't know why I'm trying to shake this thought, and it doesn't. As we move through the conversation, it just keeps kind of pinging in my head. So I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Um, but when you say like you're already thinking for four, and I feel the same way, right? Like
Yeah.
we're loading up the car, and Trey's like, "Well, don't we need dog food?" I'm like, "Done." Like what? I got water bowls, food bowls, all the,
Yeah.
the the food is individually bagged per dog for as long as we're gonna be gone. Like we're good. I
Yeah.
got treats. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And but like, yes, we have to think for the entire family. But
Yeah.
then you know how like when we were learning to drive and like now like you have
Mm.
to be a defensive driver. So I'm
Yeah.
not only thinking about me and my vehicle and the passengers that I have, but I'm thinking about like all of the outside, factors and
Mm.
influences
Mhm.
that we may encounter along the way or in between whatever it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. It's like I was already maxed out thinking about more than just me. So let's include the
Yes.
kids, maybe dad if he needs a little help. But now I have to think about everything else. I have to think about, you know, yeah, the dog policy said up to 50 pounds, but I called and they said, as long as the manager doesn't care, it's fine. He said he didn't, but what if the shift changes? What if they put it out?
Yeah.
What if this? What if that? And I'm thinking about everything that could possibly go wrong, just to make sure that it goes off without a hitch. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I think we miss a lot of that, right? Like it's not
Mhm.
just, oh, I had to think about packing everybody. Like I'm thinking,
Yeah.
exponentially. Is that the right way to
Right.
say it?
Yes,
At
yes,
levels that
yes.
like people have no idea exist. And then
Right.
when they're like, oh, we had a good time. I bet you did.
Yeah,
And
I
I am
bet you did.
exhausted,
You're
like
right. You better had.
mentally exhausted because I thought about
Yeah.
everything to make sure that everyone enjoyed themselves. And my joy comes from, seeing
Right.
others enjoy
Right.
themselves. But it's like, how do I how do I then take a break from that? And that
Right.
I think is Mother's Day. I think that is
Yes.
the one day we can be selfish and be like,
Yeah.
"Ah, ah, ah, no, 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 no,
Yep.
no, no.
Yeah.
I don't care if you drink water all day long. Don't
Okay.
bother me. You know?
Okay. Salad. And pour. Crock pot. Anybody can operate that. I'm pouring into my I'm pouring into myself. Figure it
Yes.
out. McDonald's. I don't care. Yeah.
Goodness. So I think this might be a good time. I'm so enjoying just reflecting and learning and just,
Yeah.
talking about the growth even because this feels like growth for me.
Yeah.
Um, but I think now might be a good time to invite our listeners in,
Mm.
right? To our
Mhm.
conversation, to reflect with us. So
Yeah.
y'all know what that means. Pause,
It's
go get
coming.
your pen, your paper, take
Pick
some
it up.
notes,
Take some
mark the
notes.
time
Pull
stamp,
over.
whatever you need to do,
Yeah.
because we have a few journal worthy or heart
Yeah.
space questions for this
Yep.
week.
Mhm.
So three short and sweet. Number one, what's something your mother taught you intentionally or not
Mm.
that you carry today?
Ooh.
Yeah. You just kind of hit on that a
I
little bit, right?
did. I
Like whether you knew
did.
it was in me or not, it's here.
Yes.
So we'll come back and answer these as well. Number two, what parts of your story deserve more tenderness?
Wow.
Very deep, very
Mm.
deep. What would you write in a love letter to yourself as a mother?
Whew.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
Right?
Those hit deep. That's real deep. Um, Man, I think I am struck with, something your mother taught you intentionally or not that you carry today. And I actually think I could combine that with what I write in a love letter to myself. So I think unintentionally I was taught a certain type of dialogue with self that isn't always affirming. Like it is and it isn't. And then just taught that so many things are unspoken when really
Mhm.
we need to speak them out.
Mm.
And so there was more of a witnessing. That's why it's an intentional thing of like what I
Mhm.
witnessed and how I saw her move. And so to in a love letter to myself, I would say, Jaleesa, you got to say it. You got to say it, baby. You got
Yeah.
to tell somebody. You have to ask. It's
Mhm.
okay. Who you are is good enough, right?
Yes.
You are the best that you're going to be every day. Like I
Mhm.
am my best self on a Tuesday. I didn't
Yep.
have to do anything else. And just to change that negative self-talk. That like, what, well, there's no version of me that's unlovable. So why are you talking to her like that?
Right.
And I think that's what I learned of just how to carry myself in a way that if I want to be seen, I have to see myself first.
Right.
Non-judgmentally and with love. I guess that ties in the third one too. Okay, I'm doing something now. And phone falling and everything. And that's a part of me that deserves more tenderness. It's just my heart.
Mhm.
At every stage, every age, my heart, I as a whole deserved more tenderness and learning this human experience. So I would put that in my letter too. Like, give yourself more tenderness because you got it. Is whoever you are, however you're showing up, that's good enough.
Yeah.
How
Mm.
about you?
Ooh. So, every time you get to talking, it just, makes me feel something. But even as I read the questions, to our audience, I was thinking like I could really answer these all at the same time. And then you came
Yeah.
out like, well, I could put one in, and I was like, I was having that thought.
Yeah.
Um, because that's how it feels. And I think,
Yeah.
especially in the past, like, I don't know, maybe like 1 to 2 years. I mean, I might push it to say 1 to 3 years. Um, Something that I learned, you know, that not something that I learned, but something that I realized was a big part of me was, like you
Mm.
said, that negative self-talk, or even like
Mm.
just forms of what I like to call like self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was intentional because, again, if you ask me, like, we have to be deep in like a therapy session
Mhm.
for me to pull back enough layers and see, like, you know, how my childhood may have been unfair to the little girl that I was.
Yeah.
Because I think I lived a great life. So I don't think this was intentional, but I think I've been paying more attention now that, my seasons have been changing what feels regularly
Yeah.
for the better, but just still, y'all know, it's just a little frustration behind there because it's like as soon as you get in the groove, it's like, well,
Yeah.
don't get too comfortable because
Yeah. It
time for
is.
winter.
Yep.
But that's how it feels. And so it just like as I've been healing myself,
Mhm.
I'm now picking up on the way my mother speaks. And
Mhm.
I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
gosh, that must have been what I sounded like to others. Well, wait a minute, has she
Yeah.
always sounded like this? Did I?
Yeah.
And I'm like asking myself these questions, and I'm trying to like encourage her to stop doing it.
Mhm.
Obviously, I haven't had this conversation with her because I just thought about it when the question came up. But like that, maybe that's something that really is going on. Like when you
Yeah.
say, like, "Oh, I want to do this, this, and this," the only thing after that should be how you're going to do it, not the
Mm.
reasons why you can't.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that, I unintentionally learned from her. And so in doing that, like I would find, I think what it turned into was that I wasn't good enough, right?
Mm.
So like, if things were going
Oof.
too good, it was like, well, this can't be true. And so now I'm trying to actively find ways to self sabotage, asking
Mm.
ridiculous questions, trying to make something be that doesn't exist, And
Yeah.
for that, I've had to unlearn it. But what
Mm.
part of my story deserves more tenderness? To be honest, I don't know. Hi, sorry, you guys hear that breathing? That is Preston. Hi, welcome, Preston. I'm dog sitting. What deserves more tenderness? I don't. I think. I don't know. I think that's hard for me. I think a lot of people look at me now with a 20-year-old and feel like, "What
Mm.
did that?" And it kind of
Mhm.
gives me the feeling of like when you tell somebody you're, like this is hard or this is this, and they're like, "You're the strongest woman I know. You'll get through it." And it's like, that's not what I wanted
Mm.
to hear. Like
Yeah.
looking for a little more support there. And
Yeah.
I think that might be the part that deserves more tenderness, right? Like it wasn't easy. Like I talk about it like it
Right.
was easy, but it was not easy.
Right.
And it shouldn't be swept under the rug, right? Like I don't want to glorify it, but at the same time, I want to be mindful of the fact that I was a child raising a child,
Yeah.
and like that people who think I have it all together, or even when they see like certain things that I do, I'm like, look, a lot of the mother that I am today was the mother that I was at 15.
Mm.
And yeah, I've tweaked some of it, but it's not perfect because I was just a kid trying to learn how to be an adult. And so we
Right.
learning together like it's just this whole thing. So I think it does just deserve more space, cuz even like as I watch myself now and I feel guilty that like, I throw some gentle parenting
Yeah.
lines in every now and then, like, nice hands, things like
Yeah.
that. Like I can get hard on myself like, well, why didn't I do that with you know,
Oh yeah.
MJ or like what, or
Mhm.
even with Chase, like
Right.
MJ would say something smart and I would just pop him in his mouth. Like,
Yeah.
and now it's like, well, I didn't do that to Chase, I didn't do that to
Mm.
Ari. And so it's just, I
Yeah.
don't know, I think that maybe deserves a little more tenderness. So I don't give myself the grace that I think I deserve. And if I
Mm.
wrote a love letter to myself, funny story, I journaled this past weekend when,
Yeah.
the my world was changing.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I like literally, Jaleesa, I started journaling and I was
Mm.
like, I can write a book. And
Mhm.
I had the whole, I mean, I
Mhm.
still got it. But
Yes.
I would write to myself, and I would write to the dreamer in me.
Mm.
Um, and just encourage her to, you know what I
Mm.
mean? To always
Mhm.
dream, to dream big, to dream bigger than you could ever imagine. Like if you
Yeah.
think it's ridiculous, then that means there's something more that,
Yeah.
that is there to be dreamed of, dreamt of. I
Yeah.
don't really speak that well, so whichever
Yeah.
version is correct. But just to go far, and when you think you've gone as far as you can, like push yourself more.
Mhm.
That's what I would write to myself, because all too often, like I find that like I stop or I get complacent, or it's like,
Oh yeah.
what, the kids are good, so like I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to try to do too much. It might disturb, what's going, like, no, just go for it. Like I would
Mm.
just be so encouraging to myself,
Mhm.
to do any and everything you want to in the time that you want to do it. There's no time like the present.
Mhm.
So if you're having the thought, I mean,
Do it.
you got to act because you'll
Yeah.
miss your window.
Yeah. Get into it. Show up for yourself
Mhm.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
True. That's it. You can make up for lost time. I'm convinced.
Mm. That's it right there. You can make up
Yeah.
for lost time. Absolutely.
Mm.
Right? Especially when you're in a relationship with yourself. You can
Oh,
always do that.
yep. Yep.
Yeah, you can do that. You can offer yourself that healing. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Never too late for that. That's it right there. We got a little deep. We got some real talk going on, and hopefully just a lot of, like I said, deep reflection, making more space for you, the mama, the girl that becomes a mama, your whole
Mhm.
experience. It's not just motherhood. We are looking at the girls in us
Yes.
and who she became to get to motherhood and through motherhood. So, this was a very heartfelt episode. And we just want you all to know that no matter what your motherhood journey looks like, you are worthy of love, gentleness, and celebration.
And most importantly, you do not have to earn it.
Mhm.
You don't have to get it right
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
deserve rest, recognition, and real support. That's that's it. Like that is
Yeah.
the bare minimum, I think. And we need to accept that for ourselves
Yes.
as mothers, as little girls, as
Yes.
mothers to be, as
Yes.
grandmothers,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, with the grandmother that's listening, because I don't want to be a grandma. Uh, so, whether you're mothering children, memories, or dreams, you matter.
Yeah. And we see you, we honor you. This episode is our love letter to you. And not just this Sunday on Mother's Day. You know what I mean? But like
Mm-hmm.
every day. Like let's get
Yes.
to that space where we celebrate ourselves, we celebrate the women, the mothers, the caretakers in our lives and around us every day.
Yes. Yes. If this episode moved you, if it reminded you of your own strength or softness, share it with another mama today, with somebody,
Share it with anybody.
anybody.
And when you do,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
be sure to also tag us in your stories. Upload a
Yeah.
video. Like
Ooh,
I
yeah.
if this episode really touched you, tag us and share. Just
Mhm.
answer one question or say something or you know, I don't know, make a post to your mom. Maybe that's what I'll do this Mother Day and just make it.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a digital footprint. You know, like where
Yes.
we can really hold on to it and like our kids can come back and look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, send this episode to a friend, your best friend, your sister, your cousin, the neighbor,
Right.
the community, Facebook page, whatever it is you're
Yes.
doing. Let's keep this circle growing.
Absolutely. Do all the social media things
There
so
you
that
go.
we can see what's going on. We want to see y'all. We
Mhm.
want to know how we're growing and learning and reflecting and doing all that together. And because you know what? It helps more of us to find a safe space, and we want all of you all to feel seen as much as we do.
Yeah. And if we could say it one more time, happy Mother's Day
Yeah, happy
in
Mother's
every
Day.
form. Yeah,
Yes,
in every form that it takes for you. Whatever
every
that looks
form,
like.
every
This is for
form.
you.
Yes, and for the mothers who may not have children, who have to experience that in a different way, whether it was an abortion for whatever reason, a loss. You're celebrated not only this day, but all the other days in between as well. Because, like we said, we aren't
Yes.
just mothering our future, we're mothering our past selves too. So, even if you don't
Mhm.
have that physical representation of a child, you are that child that gets to receive your love. So, make sure you give it out.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we love you. We here with you.
Mhm.
And we hope you came as you were and took exactly what you need. We ain't said that in a while, so I'm gonna say it out loud. Come as you are. Take what you need. I think that's what we did today. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna continue to do that. And we hope to see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.